Hello, good evening. Andrew Wasson from creativeguitarstudio.com. Thanks a lot for joining me for another one of these chit-chat videos where we talk about the philosophy of being a musician and overall what you can do to become better, both as a musician, as a businessman, and as somebody who wants to improve in life. And today what we're going to be talking about has to do with basically what sets you apart, from all the other musicians, what sets you apart from all the other people out there, what makes you different. And we're going to be doing a deep dive into this in this discussion tonight. And I think that what's important is you have to understand that you're a unique individual. There's billions and billions of people on earth, but there's only one of you. So, there's something that you can be doing that's going to be unique, and you want to tap into that so that you can take advantage of what exactly that is. And hopefully you can make a better life for yourself out of knowing that and tuning into that. Now, I've had a busy day. It's been crazy around here. I'm restoring a 1970 Dodge pickup truck, and I've been trying to organize the wiring for it. The truck's all done. It's been painted. The engine's in it. The transmission's in it. Exhaust system's in it. Everything's pretty much done. The upholstery's back. Everything's finished. But I got to get this thing wired up, and I've sort of spent the day sourcing out wiring harnesses and all this stuff for my truck that I'm restoring. So if you want to check out what the truck looks like, you can either go to my Facebook page or you can go over to the Creative Guitar Studio Instagram page, and you'll see some pictures of it over there. It's a pretty unique vehicle. They only made just over 1,000 of these trucks. It's a 1970 Dodge the Dude pickup truck, and it's something else. Speaking of unique, that's a unique vehicle right there. It's lime green, and it's going to be something else when it's finished. But anyway, let's discuss what's happening of setting you apart. What is it about you as a musician and as a person, as a businessman that's different? That's going to be the goal of this conversation here. Why would someone want to hire you? Why would someone want you to be their teacher or why would you want to be somebody that would hire someone? Look at it from every angle. Why would you want to work in a band? Why would somebody want to hire you in a band? What is it about maybe how you write songs? All this stuff, it's forming your unique individuality. And a lot of people, they just kind of do what everybody else is doing, and that's something that's not what makes a man out of you. You got to find your own path, and you got to do your own unique set of things, and then that's what really sets you apart. They have to be things, though, that you're comfortable with. You don't want to be doing things that you're uncomfortable with and go into situations that are kind of ridiculous, and you feel like an outsider when you're there. When I was young, when I was in my early 20s and I was first getting into bands and I was first jamming with people, I had those experiences. I got into bands and I was I'd be in between sets on a break and be sitting there in the bar looking at my beer, wondering why am I here? I don't like this music. I don't even like some of these people. What am I doing in this situation? So over time, I really had to sort of find out what I liked to do, what I enjoyed doing, and then meeting people that I had a good time with. And I'll maybe tell you a longer story in a little while here, but I want to get into this in the beginning of think about what makes you feel right and then stand to that. In the online musical world, there's a lot of pressure all the time to be certain ways, or to be, to do things in videos that, or maybe you're not comfortable with. I know for myself, my channel, I don't really understand how YouTube works. It's baffling to me. For those of you who don't make YouTube videos, for those of you who don't have YouTube channels that are monetized under the creator platform, it's a yo-yo roller coaster of an income, and it's just, it makes no sense. You can't phone them. You can't talk to anybody there. It's completely non-transparent. They just kind of pay you whatever you get paid in a month, and it's it's crazy. Like it's an odd business model. You got to like look at it as just something that if you get good money out of it sometimes, then fine. And then when you don't, you need other things online that will help you. You know, if you talk to anyone that does our business in the music world, there's, you know, social media can be pretty good, but it's not everything. And YouTube can be decent, but it's definitely not everything. For some people that try to make a living long-term on YouTube, they're always going to crash and burn at some point. It's never going to be a long-term thing. I can tell you that. I've talked to people who've done YouTube for longer than me, and it's just, it's a roller coaster. And you got to fit their algorithm all the time, which means you're probably going to be doing a bunch of junk on there that you don't like and you don't even want to do. I just do on YouTube whatever I want to do, what makes me feel comfortable, and everyone else, whatever. I don't care. Luckily, I have a lot of other ways that I make an income. I don't have to worry about this stuff. It's just I do my own thing, and it's my own approach. I think where you get caught in a trap, whether it's on the online world, on the musical world, band world, is thinking that, you know, you're going to go along and do the current thing and be with the most popular people, and then that's somehow going to set you up. Well, what sets you up is confidence in yourself, and that's number one. And then if you're going and pursuing what you want to do and you feel the best, that you are the most capable at, then you know, instead of doing the most current thing on social media, that will be what'll set you apart and what'll get you your fans. You don't need a lot of fans on the internet to make a great living. Honestly, if you have 11,000 people that love you all the time, I mean, you'll be doing fantastic. I mean, you don't have to run a big business. You don't have to get incorporated. You don't have to have a staff or anything. But, you know, you should be doing what you like and be doing it in a way that it facilitates a lifestyle for you. And a lot of times what other people are doing isn't the right thing. And what you're trying to push yourself through sometimes, you know, it's kind of like if you're trying to do the current thing all the time on social media, it's not going to be working. You know, you have to find out what is not temporary, but what is permanent for you, and go through a period of developing that, and then hopefully it'll be trending out for you after a while, and things will get better and better and better. But you got to stick to your guns. You won't never give up, and make sure that you're pursuing what feels the most comfortable to you, and not what feels like it's, oh, this is what's popular. So that's going to be temporary. That stuff will just be a temporary approach. You don't want to do it. You want to stick with what you feel is the best. That way you'll develop your audience. Like, they'll become so loyal to you that even if I've had situations a lot of times, even off our Patreon, where I'll get an email sent to me by somebody who's maybe been a Patreon subscriber for 5, 6, 7 months saying, you know, this has been great. I really like it. I'm going to be taking a bit of a break, but I'm going to come back. You know, it's amazing when you hear from your loyalty crowd what it's like for them, and why they're happy with it, and why they're going to be coming back. And the good thing is, you know, if you follow what's inside yourself, and you go with what you like and what seems to be good for you and what's right for you, your music's also going to get more tuned into the way that you want to play it as well. And you line everything up with yourself and what you want to do that way musically as well. You know, I'll tell you a story. I was in a band for a while, probably in the mid-2000s, and it was just because somebody else I had worked with a lot couldn't do a show with this band, or this person really was forming a band, and they wanted me to fill in for them. And it seemed like fun. It was some, you know, funky soul R&B stuff. I thought, oh, sure, okay. And I did the one gig, and the person who was running the band said, like, you know, we had a thing going on, and when you came in, it just got 10 times better. So will you join our band? Will you be a member of our band? And I was kind of like, it was sort of I didn't really want to get involved with it, you know. But I said, well, you know what, I'll do some gigs with you, and then, you know, over time, you know, you can look for somebody to join the band and be more permanent, but I don't think I could be permanent. So, you know, I stayed with them actually for longer than I should have. I was with them for maybe almost 6 months. And it was really a direction I shouldn't have been involved with, because they had an idea, like a lot of bands will have an idea, that they're going to get famous, you know, the private jet is going to land at their local airport and take them to Los Angeles, and they're going to get a recording deal with like Paramount or Universal or Sony, or these kind of ideas. I don't like being a part of those things. So after a while, I could see the money was running out there. They were paying band members, I think, $200 a gig in the beginning, and then that fell to like 180, 150, and then 105 or something, and then it was like 90, and then and the leader of this band was paying all this out of pocket. They must have spent like $30,000 or $40,000, including making their CD and doing all this promotion, and then all the gigs for them it was free. They were doing them completely for free, and then they started asking us, if like the hired members of the band, myself included, if we would play for free. And it was just like, oh, that's when I had to just pack it in. I just couldn't do it anymore. But I have witnessed this kind of thing for years. I've seen it happen over and over and over again, whether it's a very wealthy father in the household and there's maybe somebody who's like the daughter or the son, they want to be famous, and they bankroll it for a while, and then when it gets to like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, they just cut it off and just say, you know what, this is done. You better go to university and get some kind of thing you could frame on the wall in mahogany, because this is not going to be bankrolled by us anymore, your mom and dad, or whatever that situation is. And nowadays that's completely gone in my life. I mean, if somebody ever phoned me and wanted me to do anything like that, I would just say no. That doesn't even factor in anymore at my stage of the game. But this is the stuff that you can get roped in with. And a couple things I want to leave you with there too is drugs and alcohol. Like, there's people out there who are like, you go to a rehearsal and then it's like, it ends at 8 o'clock, and then there's a guy who pulls out the bottle of whiskey. Hey, let's have a few drinks. Hey, let's do this. And then all of a sudden, hey, let's smoke some weed and do this and do this. And then you're there till like midnight or 1 in the morning, like that kind of stuff. Get away from it. It is completely wasting your time, and it is not going to be something that is going to help you in any way, shape, or form. Those kind of people are just time wasters, and I've been sucked into situations like that with people too. It's totally stupid, and I wish I would have never done any of that kind of stuff with people. But unfortunately, it happens in the music business. The music business is just polluted with drugs and alcohol and stupid people and people that'll rip you off and lie to you. Like, they'll lie to you in an instant. So I mean, it's like all this stuff is part of the music industry, and if you're in the music industry, you're gonna get exposed to having to deal with it. Best thing you can do is just say no. Focus on your own things. Do what feels most comfortable for you. Don't follow the trend. And you'll be fine. You'll really develop some kind of an audience, especially now that we have in the world of social media, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all this stuff. I mean, like I said, if you can develop 11,000 people or so or whatever, if you can have 5,000 people following you on Patreon, you'll make a great living. And if all you have to do is produce the kind of content that you like, because they like it too, because they're following you, because they enjoy what you're doing, and you can do really well. So take this information to heart. You're probably not going to find this very many places out there, and share this video, because this is information that's critical. I think people need to hear. And I'm fairly low key. I don't go crazy on the internet. I have a lot of other things I do. I have a lot of other investments and ways that I earn money, and the YouTube thing, the business side of thing that we have here, this is just a small portion of it. And I am giving you advice from my heart. Listen to what I have to say. It's critical that you sort of form a relationship with yourself and a relationship out into the world of being a musician that's going to be balanced and function for you, because it's so important to do that. So anyway, guys, that's the chat for this time around. I hope that you enjoyed it. Remember to check out my website at creativeguitarstudio.com, and also check out my YouTube channel, my main one, the Creative Guitar Studio YouTube channel here on YouTube, and of course the Patreon as well, which is just patreon.com/Creative Guitar Studio. There's tons of stuff there. I've been doing Patreon for almost 3 years now, so there's a load of information there that's valuable. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for joining me, and I will catch up with you next time. Bye for now.